Perfect!
Welcome into Tips for Gamers, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down the best superstar and X-Factor abilities along with the best traits for cornerbacks in Madden 22. You know, if you guys do like the content that we produce, leaving us with a like and a comment down below goes a long ways. You know, we have guest writers and we have other people who help out in our company and do things for our company, but in reality it is two main people who work in this company, and we have to cover merch, create our own merch. You know, we have to do our YouTube videos, we write articles, we have to maintain the website too, make sure the security's up, you name it, so many different things. And we're also in the process of creating a video game as well, and it is a lot of work, and sometimes we kind of get swamped with too much work. So anytime you guys, you know, leave us likes and comments and you know, things like that, I mean, it really goes a long ways, and you guys really don't understand the impact that you guys have for us. It's something we don't explain to you guys enough, but it really does, and we can't thank you all enough from all of you guys, the guys who are constantly commenting, to the silent guys who hit the like button and don't say anything. We appreciate all of you guys the same. You guys are amazing, so we can't thank you enough, and we tip our hats to you. So whether it's simulation or non-simulation, the traits are going to be about the same, okay? Because most people don't actually play with the cornerback even when they're doing user play. They just don't. They typically play D lineman, linebacker, or safety, one of the two. They're kind of shooting from more the middle of the field instead of the one outside or the other, because cornerbacks typically play on the right side or the left side. They're not typically in the middle, okay? And that's why most people don't play with them. Plus, you're putting yourself on an island when you don't need to. So even when you're playing user play, you're not user playing your cornerback. So your cornerbacks need to have good CPU skills. And that's really the key here. So with your personality, it doesn't matter. He could be an a-hole, and it's not going to change a dang thing. The only thing it changes is if you're in franchise mode and you're trying to get jersey sales. So money, that's basically it. Now, the play ball tendency, balanced is acceptable, but it's not preferred. Aggressive play ball tendency is where you want to hit your mark. That's going to be the best. You want a guy who's really aggressive. Now, just for example, Jalen Ramsey here is aggressive. Okay, he's definitely aggressive, and there's something to that. Now, his discipline penalty tendency, I don't actually see that, because he's more balanced, and that's kind of why he's aggressive. Now, some of you may be saying, too, with Asante Samuel, well, he's not a 99. No, he's not. We made him a pretty good player in this just for the sake of this video, so just know that. Now, going down the list here, big hitter, that's just an added bonus. A lot of cornerbacks are not going to have that. And if you see that, that just gives you the option where you can put him at safety as well, and he'd be a dang good safety. So, you know, just kind of take these into consideration. Predictable player, that's something you'd like to see. High motor, huge. Okay, cornerbacks are one of those positions that are just running up and down the field like crazy. So you want them to have as much of a bonus as possible with running up and down the field like crazy. And then the discipline penalty tendency, that is one thing you want. They're like offensive linemen when they get a lot of, you know, penalties going against them. Those are the two positions. You got your linemen, you got your cornerbacks. Those guys get huge amount of penalties compared to most other positions. So you want to try to combat that as much as possible, discipline. Now, there are some that you don't see on this. Strip ball, that is huge. If you don't have it, it's no big deal, but it's still, when you do have it, it's like, oh man, that's an added bonus right there. The other thing too is possession catch and aggressive catch are added bonuses. Now, typically you're just not going to have that in one of these guys, but if you do have it, that's just great. I mean, it really is. It makes the guy, he's so dangerous at cornerback if you do have that. But aside from that, this is basically what you're looking at here. The other thing too is if you have a high motor and your guy has a high stamina rating, that is great. Those two combinations go hand in hand with each other. If you have a high motor but a low stamina, just know that it's going to affect that trait, because even if your guy has a high motor, it may look good on paper and say, wow, that's fantastic. If he has an 85 stamina, it's really not going to make that huge of a difference for him, unfortunately. So yeah, that covers the traits. The traits are good from there. We're going to move on to the abilities now. So real quick, we're going to go over reinforcement. We're going to choose this one just to get this off the screen, but this is one that we wouldn't choose. The game's top defenders excel in all situations when they enter the zone. This ability increases their chance of defeating the run blocks and disrupting catches via tackles. This one's not terrible. It really isn't, because it's kind of a combination with the run and the passing. However, it's just one out of all of them that we just wouldn't choose. Okay, so that's why we're going to choose this first and just get this out of the way so that we can show you the 2 ones that we would choose. All right, so there's 3 here that we like. Shutdown is one of them. Shutdown defenders have the talent to erase receivers from the game when they enter their zone. When they enter the zone, their coverage is tighter and interceptions are more frequent on contested catches. Shutdown's nasty. Okay, this is one that we really, really love. Another one, too, is universal coverage. The most physical coverage defenders prevent catches from happening even when their target has hands on the ball. When they enter the zone, they are nearly guaranteed knockouts. Okay, this is something we definitely love. But we would choose shutdown. Now, there's a different variation, too, that we want to provide you with. Let's say you have 2 deep backs. Now we're talking deep backs here. If you have 2 deep backs, or maybe even a linebacker too, that have X factors, the cornerback you're going to want to choose shutdown. Okay, and this is what we've done in our rebuilds in past times that we've won countless Super Bowls with. Shutdown is great because if you have a high overall cornerback and you got him with shutdown, this dude is your KO master. This is Mr. Island. This is a guy who's telling the other guy, whether it's Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, you name it, Julio Jones, he's telling him bring a lunchbox because it's going to be all day, son. I'm going to punch you in the mouth and I'm going to keep going until you're KO'd. Okay, and so that's what we'd want to have here. But if you have another X Factor guy, we'd put him at selfless. And this is just a balance. If your island man, your cornerback that has shutdowns, not quite getting the job done, you want to have this guy here. When selfless players are making plays, their teammates are motivated to perform better. When they enter the zone, all on-field teammates enter the zone as well, so then you're locking in that shutdown. Either way, it's a safety valve. You want to have safety valves to say, hey, if I'm not doing so well with that cornerback right now, he's struggling, they got him on the ropes, you want to be able to light it up with the selfless guy, and then boom, Mr. Shutdown comes in and starts KOing some people, and that's what we'd like to see here. You could have a secondary guy at universal coverage. Now, this is one that if you do have it, we're not opposed to it, but shutdown. It's as simple as that. So you're going to see tip drill being removed from this. Tip drill, it could be cool. Players with this ability have an increased chance to catch passes that have been tipped into the air, but, I mean, I don't want to put my success up to a tip drill. I'm going to waste an ability slot for this. No, it's just silly. I'm not going to do that. So we're going to choose this one and just get it off the screen. And the reason we're showing you this is because for those of you who know all these and you don't see tip drill, you may be wondering, well, where the hell is tip drill? Well, it's just because we selected it, because whichever one you select disappears from your screen, obviously, and rightfully so. So there are 2 basic ones that we would choose. There is Unfakeable. That's not bad, but it didn't make it onto our list. It fell short of our top 2. But there are 2 of them, and it's dependent on what kind of guy that you have. Okay, Acrobat is great. Defenders with this ability will dive for increased range on pass breakups and interceptions. If your guy has Acrobat, it's one of those things that it's like, it's the same saying of like, hey, he was born with that, or he wasn't. You either have it or you don't. This isn't really learned. So Acrobat is fantastic because if your guy has good stamina, he's good across the board. This is huge. Acrobat is huge. Now, if your guy doesn't have, let's say he's really good, but he just doesn't have the stamina, I'd go recuperation on him. Players with this ability will recover from the effects of fatigue at an increased rate between plays. If you're missing that stamina, well, get the best out of your low stamina. Get the best out of it. Don't take that guy who's a high overall and be like, hey, I'm not going to increase his weaknesses. In Madden or in any sport that you play, turning your weaknesses into strengths are one of the best abilities that you have in any strategic format of gameplay that there is. Okay, and that's how we would choose it. Low stamina, high overall, choose recuperation. High stamina, good across the board, Acrobat. those are the two we would choose. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose one just to get it off of our screen, and it's Deep Zone KO. This is one that we would not choose, so that's why we're going to pull it off our screen first, so you guys won't be able to see it the next time around. All right, so there are two main favorites on this. One Step Ahead is one of ours. Defenders with this ability generally react much faster to receiver cut moves when in man coverage. This is one that we like, and if you run a huge man coverage style defense, you're probably going to want to go with this one. Because having that one step ahead is great. The caveat here is man coverage. So if you're running zone, it's not necessarily going to affect it as much. But with how janky Madden is, there could be a slight significance of having this even in zone, because he can cut moves, but that's more along the lines of you're just guessing. No one really has significant evidence with that. The other thing too is pick artists. Defenders with this ability have a higher chance to catch uncontested interceptions, and they have unlimited stamina on the return until using a special move or breaking a tackle. Okay, so if you're sitting there and having a cornerback who's a real beast, pick artist is just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Jalen Ramsey has bench press. Defenders with this ability apply bonus fatigue to their man coverage target after a successful press win. That's good. It's not bad. But I don't know. I'd rather have, if you're doing man coverage, I'd rather have one step ahead than bench press personally. And then the other one is pick artist. So our two are pick artist and one step ahead. These are the two we would go with. If you're not running a lot of man coverage, you're probably not going to want to choose this one. Pick artist is basically universal. It's just, you have a higher chance to catch an interception with uncontested interceptions, and they have unlimited stamina on the return. It's kind of a two-pack punch there, and it's something that we like to see. So I do like pick artist, especially if you're in simulation and utilize our best playbooks and schemes. You're going to get a lot of picks, and having this is just going to make that even worse. So if you haven't seen those videos, it'll pop up in the top right corner of your screen, the best playbooks and schemes for Madden 22. And if you're in simulation, you're going to just get ungodly amount of interceptions. So hopefully you guys like the video. Take it easy, boys.
Perfect.